chaos is never going to go away.
No.
Our purpose is not to live this happy, zenful, no problems life. We're going to have good days where there are less problems, but the goal is to start utilizing all of our tools so that we can manage the day-to-day chaoses and stressors, and things are going to happen, so we're always going to have the problems. How do we deal with them?
Welcome to Transformative Tea Talk with Soul Aligned Living. We provide education, resources, and tips on holistic health, mindset, yoga, qigong, and Ayurveda.
The way the universe works.
I know.
We need to talk about that.
You do have to marvel at how the universe works.
Yeah.
When you start looking around and noticing things, it's like, wow. And that too.
Oh, yeah. The universe has been heavy this week, I think. There's been a lot of things if we pay attention. And I struggle paying attention. But even I this week have been like, oh, that's the universe.
Yes.
That's the universe. That's not me. That's the universe. So good morning, Talia. Talia's on. She says, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Talia. Thank you.
I didn't do a good job of checking the comments on our last Saturday morning tea because I was, I think I went off on a tangent about the witch wound and embracing your magic. So I just kind of stayed off the comments. So I'm going to try and pay a little bit more attention to those today. So see what we get. If we get any questions, or if we're just going to talk today about the universe and what did I say? I want to talk about present moment and loving what is.
Yeah. And also watching our thought habits, which kind of goes in with all of that too.
Yes.
Thinking.
And that's why Shannon called me Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. And as I'm coughing and hacking into the phone, and she's like, "Oh, how are you?" And I'm like, "I am healing. I am great. My allergies are not bothering." Attention to those today. So see what we get. If we get any questions, or if we're just going to talk today about the universe and what did I say? I want to talk about present moment and loving what is.
Yeah. And also watching our thought habits, which kind of goes in with all of that too.
Yes.
Thinking.
And that's why Shannon called me Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. And as I'm coughing and hacking into the phone, and she's like, "Oh, how are you?" And I'm like, "I am healing. I am great. My allergies are not bothering me. I'm wonderful."
Springtime.
And she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "I am healing. I have done my neti pot. I'm healing. I am getting better every second." And here we are Saturday morning, and I am feeling better.
Very good.
Now, if you would have asked me that an hour ago, we would have had a different conversation.
But isn't it always too that when you wake up, especially when you're kind of down, waking up is like really, really hard. And then once you kind of clear the cobwebs, it's like, for me, it feels like I'm coming online. It was offline.
Yeah.
Now I'm online.
Well, and I usually on Saturday mornings, I usually am up by like 7-ish. I usually, I get up and I do some work. This morning, I heard my phone ding and I rolled over and it was Shannon about tea talk. And I was like, oh, it's 8:40 something. It is not 7 a.m. It is almost 9 and I have to get up and get ready. So, but I did, and I'm here and we're good. Did my neti pot. If anybody ever wants to see Michelle doing a neti pot, I think there's a screenshot.
I can post it for you.
There's a screenshot of Michelle doing her neti pot this morning to get ready, because I thought, well, with our time span, I don't have time. And I was like, no, I have to take care of me. taking care of me. I'm doing my neti pot. And then there were pictures taken.
I can't recall if I did that last week, but another way, because I don't have near the level of allergies that you do, but the little stuffy nose, just looking up. Did I talk about that last week?
I think you might.
Anyway, you press your points right here, look up, and you just keep looking up, and you can feel it draining.
I have a question. Is it over the collarbone or under the collarbone?
Over.
Looks like over, like the top of the collarbone.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kind of like we're going down on top of the, okay, because I'm like,
Yeah,
over
it
here.
kind of
Got it.
also works with your lymphatic system, but you just look up and down, and then you can just hold it. But usually I'm doing it just like a little stuffy, and I just look up a little bit. I don't even do this, but I mean that's how I learned to do it.
And you can do your face by doing the same thing. You can press here. And I like to do a little massage here, like pressing 1, 3, 4, 5. Do it here. And then behind the ears. And then down in this area.
Yeah.
And then I also do a facial, like a massage to clear my sinuses.
Yeah.
My chiropractor told me to go down, but there's different
There's
ways.
there's so much good stuff about these acupressure points on us that really, once you start practicing it, I practiced, I would get car sick, like especially, how you're using your phone in the car and you get really nauseous and all that. I don't know. I tend to get car sick. But I bought these little bracelets that have a little button right here in the middle of your wrist. But you don't even have to buy the bracelets. I bought them at like CVS, but they really work. Like I drove all the way to Colorado in the back seat on my phone most of the time, and I never got car sick wearing those bands. And if I ever felt like a little queasy, I would just push a little bit harder. So that's a pressure point that'll help with that motion sickness right in there somewhere.
Good to know. I could use that with Michaela. I just carried bags and blankets with me for her so that I could pull over and catch real quick.
Well, yeah. You might want to get some of those bands.
Or
they're
I can
called
just
C
teach her
bands.
that she can press when she starts
Or
to
she
feel
can
that
press.
way.
Yeah.
She's 11 now. She can press herself. She doesn't.
That's true. That's true. But it does work.
Yeah.
It does work. So that's one. I mean, there's a couple that I do. There's one for sleep, but I'm learning more about those little tricks
All
to
the
help your
little
body.
holistic things we can do that don't require medication.
Exactly.
So.
Because if you've ever taken a motion sickness pill, you don't even remember your trip. They knock you out. Well, they knock me out anyway.
Or if you take too many motion sickness pills, you don't remember your trip.
Yeah.
On a different level.
Then you just called another trip.
Don't do that. More is not always better.
No, I think we have all learned that.
More is not always better.
Let me just
Less
take
is not always
more.
better either, but
More acetaminophen. Let me just take more Benadryl.
Yeah, no. Not good. Not good. Not good. So, well, I guess we'll talk a little bit about the present moment and living with what it is. We could talk about that for a moment, I think. I did a post this morning. Go ahead, Shannon.
I was just gonna say, because and I don't want to negate what you're saying, so that's not my intention. But when you were talking about, oh, I'm with the cold and everything, it's like, hey, I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna feel better. And we don't want to get into the denial of it. Like, we want to sometimes listen to our bodies, be present, and ask what we need, because I am the queen of denial. So when things are, I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. And then I find ways to just not deal with what I'm dealing with and then just push it back and push it back. So yeah, the universe has been throwing all those things in my face this week that I don't want to deal with, or I've gotten very good at not realizing I'm not dealing with. So.
And that is good to mention, because while I was saying that, I also that day took a nap midday and was making my, detox tea, and I made a little detox soup and, did all of the things, had some ginger tea. So I was doing all the things to take care of me.
Yes.
Along with the positive self-talk and, using my neurolinguistics to get my mind in that place, but also doing the things that I needed to do to take care of me.
Yes.
Which did not include always going to bed at a decent hour because I couldn't sleep. But I did all the other things. I'm a human. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. I'm real good at the self-talk. No, I'm not real good at the self-talk. I'm good at saying I will be fine and denying things.
Yeah. I'm really, over the years, have gotten better about trying to prop my phone up so I can see it without having to look down whenever I'm trying to check the comments. I've gotten better about doing it and doing the things to move me along the path. Because you really do have to do both. You have to set the intention in your brain and then do the things.
Right.
I can't say I'm going to get better and then go eat a piece of cake and, have a block of cheese and, do all these things that are going to make me worse.
Right.
You have to have the intention set, say what you want and then do the things to get there as well.
Yeah.
But if I were to just say, oh, my allergies are killing me, I just want to die, then that's going to set my intention to that, where my allergies are going to continue to kill me and I do just want to die. And so I think I said at one point, I was like, I am living for this.
That's awesome.
Because, anybody that really knows me knows I will get sick and I will be in bed for a week. And I will not, because cancel, clear, delete. Not anymore. But I used to. But that was before, I started paying attention to my body and how to take care of myself.
Right. That's the key there. I think the awareness, the awareness of what's going on with you and what you need, and that self-care.
And then the appreciation of each moment and where it has you, I think that's important too, because I think a lot of times we get down on like, this is my situation right now, instead of looking at it and saying, okay, but what's the lesson from this? What in this moment is good? What is this trying to teach me? What in this moment is good?
Right.
Because, I have a lot going on right now, and it'd be very easy for me to just be, well, I am overwhelmed, but it'd be very easy for me to just completely spiral. But I have to keep reminding myself of all the, all the positive things and the things that are good in the moment and the lessons I'm learning from it. And then I have people that are helping me with that.
I am in the very painful process of aware of what I am aware of.
Yes.
I am now in awareness.
And then being aware, so you're aware. Yeah. So you're aware. So then what do? What's your next steps of being aware?
Being present with it. I think that's where I'm at right now, is trying to be present with my awareness. And being aware of my negative coping skills when I get overwhelmed. So now I'm trying to step in and go, wait, what is overwhelming me? What am I doing to handle this? And it's not easy. Healing's not easy. Doing better. We get in our habits of we've done things the same way for so long, and we've coped with situations the same way for so long, especially when you get to being 50. These are not easy habits to break. And why are they habits? Oh my goodness. So I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole. Why are they habits? Why do I do this to deal with this? Wait, what am I not wanting to manage? Last night I had a really hard time getting to sleep, and I'm like, okay, I have a coping skill for this. Why can't I sleep? So I was going to call you last night, Michelle.
Mhm.
But I asked myself all the questions that you would have. So what are you wanting to avoid? What are you feeling in this moment? What are you not wanting to feel in this moment? So I sat with my thoughts for a long time last night.
So you coached yourself.
I did a
Without
little
me.
self-coaching.
Yay! That's the ultimate goal, that we coach ourselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
Like I want to coach my way out of a job in that aspect with each person that like I work with, like, Ayurveda has a principle, and this is just a small little tangent. We're going to get back to Shannon's thing, but I just want to throw this in there. Small little thing that back in ancient times, what they would do is you paid the physician all the time. It was basically like a tax. So you paid all the time for the physician. And when you were well, you paid for the physician. And then when you got sick, you stopped payment. And the doctor would then come, take care of you, and you did all the things. So the incentive was for the doctor to keep you healthy, not to keep you sick, like in our Western medicine. So
Wow, that's
yes.
powerful.
So the incentive is to get people better, not to keep them sick so they'll keep coming to the doctor, but I need to keep you healthy because that's how I make my living. So my job is to keep you healthy. Not my job is to keep you sick so that you'll schedule an appointment in 3 months or 6 months, and you've got to keep getting these medications and things like that. So that's just a little side tangent on that, on the history of Ayurveda and the medical community centuries ago, and how that they handled that versus more modern times. So, and I'll go back over here to Shannon now and let her, because
No, Shannon doesn't want to talk about Shannon today. It's too icky.
it's too icky. Yeah, sometimes it can be icky.
It is very icky. It's like, I don't know. I feel like a butterfly stuck in her cocoon right now, going through all the mess, and it's not fun. And I'm like, is it going to get better? And it's gotten to where the tiniest little things will set me off. And I'm like, oh, no. But instead of running and hiding from them, I'm now like, what is this teaching me? What is the universe telling me? How can I handle this better? I'm very explosive. I'm very all over the place sometimes. And little things will set me off. Like someone will say, but at work, it's like, wait, I need you to think for yourself. And Michelle's like, did you set a clear communication? Did you set a clear expectation? So I'm realizing all of these things that are frustrating me, it all comes back to me. It all comes back to how well I communicate my needs, my boundaries, my expectations. And it all comes back to me. And that's can sound very egotistical, but it's my world, and the things that affect me, I have to help create that. And if I want positive things, I have to set positive things out there and tell people in a positive, kind way, I need this, this, and this from you. Or in this job, the expectation is this. And then that alleviates some of my frustration, because I will very easily go back to, I can do it all by myself. I don't need your help. And then I'm overwhelmed, and then I'm stressed, and then I'm spiraling, and then I'm.
I can relate to that. It's easier to just do it myself than try to deal with getting help.
I moved the car last weekend myself.
Yes.
I pushed a car out of the garage myself because the few people I called for help weren't coming And I was like, fine, I will do it myself. This is why I do things myself. And as I'm doing this, and I'm throwing a little, I wouldn't say a fit out in the garage, but I'm definitely in my mind saying, this is why. See, this is a trauma response. It really is a trauma response because I ask for help, nobody can help, and then I end up having to do it myself. So why do I ask for help in the first place? I could have already had this car out. Its half a day is gone, and I could have had the car out if I would have just came out here and did it myself in the first place. So let me go ahead and move this car now by myself. And then I hurt my back and I saw the chiropractor on Monday. And Michaela did come out and help. She arrived in the perfect time to help me finish with the car. But, you know, like it's very easy to go down that spiral of, you know.
But it comes back to that awareness of,
yes.
I am aware of what I'm saying. I am aware of what I'm doing. And Michelle, I don't know what you could have done in your situation. But when you work with others, excuse me. But when you work with others, well, you can like share, have people be able to help you, engage them instead of just taking it all on yourself, because that is a very easy way to get overwhelmed. Sorry, that one shook me up.
Yes. And work is a big thing, you know, trying to ask for help at work and not just, a lot of times when we do ask for help, we're not clear on what we really need. We know what we need, but then we're not clear in communicating that to the people that work with us. And so what they're hearing isn't the same as what we're saying, because perception is everything. So they think they're helping you or in some way, but then you haven't really set an expectation of what you need. So then they don't meet your expectation, but they didn't know what your expectation was to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you have some people that just don't, just because they don't want to, but that's a whole other topic. And you don't have control over that. You only have control over how you communicate to other people. And then what they do with that is up to them.
Yeah, like at home, I know that I could tell, I'm going to throw the kids under the bus. I can tell Lucas, hey, go clean the living room. And Lucas will see the whole living room and he will go in and he will grab dishes and he will grab laundry and he will put pillows where they go and just start putting things away, and then knows at some point to grab the broom and sweep and put the table back. Logan, when I talk to him, I have to say, Logan, I need you to spend 3 minutes getting all of the dishes picked up and put in the kitchen. Logan, I need you to spend 3 minutes getting all of your laundry off your bedroom floor and put in the dish. Like I have to break it down to that little. So yeah, everybody's different how we communicate and how we have to, what are we expecting? And that's the hard part for me, is knowing what I expect. I don't know what I expect until it wasn't met. And then when that expectation's not met, then I'm like, wait, I didn't even know that was an expectation until it wasn't met. So now that's why I'm in that ugly point of awareness right now. Oh, wait, I have that expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know, I remember whenever I had Shayla and I was, you know, she was a baby and my mom came and stayed with me. And I don't know if she's going to remember this or not, but she was there to help me, but she wasn't helping me on my timeline. Because I don't know if anybody that knows me knows I have a tad little bit of OCD about how things are done. And so
step away from.
So I remember it being a thing. I remember, you know, because I was like, well, you're supposed to be here helping me, but like the dishes aren't done yet. Like these things aren't done. If I'm going to get up and I have to do them because they need to be done now. I remember having that conversation. That was 20 years ago. That was before I knew anything about like awareness and triggers and all that stuff. So I'm going to work on that now that Shayla is going to have a baby and I'm going to be the grandma. So we'll see how that goes.
Awareness, though, there you go. That is the key.
Yeah, awareness.
To be aware.
Yeah. So
recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that goes with like all aspects of life, you know, and sometimes even here at the house, like I'll tell Michaela to do something. And, you know, what I say to her is not what she hears. And then I'll come back later and I'll say, this isn't done. And she's like, well, you didn't tell me to do this. You told me to do this. I'm like, okay. And she's not wrong. That's the thing. She's not wrong. I didn't tell her to do that. In my mind, when I say you need to do this, that includes like do the kitchen. That includes the entire kitchen. But there's always a part of the kitchen like that's not done. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you want me to do that. So I'm working on getting clearer across the board, at home, at work, with my clients, everywhere. Working on that. So that's a struggle.
Yeah.
Definitely. Back to the present moment and what it is a step on our journey. And sometimes the path is going to be very clear. And sometimes you have to, you know, take a machete and cut through the weeds. Sometimes the path disappears. Sometimes the path has bees all in it. Sometimes there's other people on the path. So, and I think it's each of those little things is taking us to where we need to be. So even though one moment might be hard, like if we don't have that moment, we're not going to get to where we need to be. So we need to find a place of appreciation, even for those hard things, even for, you know, the moments that make us cry or make us angry, or we just don't know what to do in. It's finding appreciation for that moment and taking the time then to find the clarity in those moments also of what needs to happen to go forward.
Right.
Yeah.
What is this trying to tell me?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to learn from this or take from
Yep.
this or do from this?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking the other day. And yes, so when I'm going through all of this, I've been trying to tell myself, like with meditation, step back and look at it. Like watch this thing happen in front of you and step back and say, what can I get from this? What can I, to not be so wrapped up in the spiral of the emotion and everything, and step back and go, what is the situation? What is going on? How am I feeling? Tune into my body and say, what's happening? Am I having that fight or flight response? And how do I respond from it? What can I do? But to sit back and analyze it and not get caught in it, which is using those tools of meditation and breathing techniques and everything else to, because I'm being called on a lot to use those this week. A lot to use all of the tools.
And they're so powerful. They're game changers. I know we always say, yeah, I know to do that. Like I talk to people and they're like, yeah, I know I should do this. I know I should do that. But it's just like it goes back to eating healthy or doing the things that serve you. I'm guilty as well. I do things that I know aren't going to serve me, but I know better. But if there's one thing that you could do or try or that would make the biggest difference is coming into that stillness, just a brief meditation, a brief moment of mindfulness, a brief step into the present moment, even if it's for a minute during your day. It's so powerful. And once you start practicing, you see that. But until you're practicing regularly, it's hard to see that or fathom it. But it is a very, very powerful tool for your well-being.
Yes.
And I do hear that a lot. Oh, I know I need to do this. Oh, I've heard that. I know that. Yeah,
yeah.
I know I need to do that. Yep. But are you doing it? And I'm guilty of that too.
We all are.
We all are. I mean, that we're human and we have lives and our lives are busy, and you know, so I notice that whenever I'm having more of a rough time, I have to bring myself to some of the things that maybe I'm not doing all the time.
Right.
So it's,
that
you know the
boils-
tools, but are you using the tools?
Right.
You can have all the tools you want in your arsenal, but if they're just sitting over there, they don't do you any good.
Right.
You have
It's
to go get
building-
them. Use them.
It's building that habit. Building the habit. So it just comes in. Sorry.
No, I just felt that very, very deeply when Michelle said that. We can have all the tools in our arsenals, but they're not doing any good if they're just sitting over there.
Mhm.
And my tools are sitting over there. My tools are sitting right there. I've got them all. I've got the Qigong, I've got the healthy eating, I've got the meditation, I've got the Tai Chi. I've got all of those tools, all of them. They've been sitting right there on the shelf for a long time. I just haven't been picking them up and using them.
They're there, but they're there.
They're there.
And sometimes Shannon will call and she'll say, I need help. And she'll tell me whatever the scenario is. And she's like, okay, thank you. And then she goes, because she already has the tools. She
I
just
do.
maybe needed a little help knowing which one to pick up off the shelf.
Right.
You know, so but I mean, or just reminding her that that's there. And she's like, oh, okay, you know, like it is there. You do have it. You do know it. You know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm not telling her anything she doesn't know.
No, not at all. No. And I think it helps if other people realize that even though we have all the tools, and
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like people look to us and go, oh my gosh, you've got your shit together. You know a lot. Like, I have some life jackets that help me through this ocean.
It's
I
a
don't feel like the same
lifelong
ocean.
journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a lifelong journey. Yes. Yes. And I have people, they tell me that all the time. You got your shit together. No.
But I have to say, you can probably say it's more together now than it was 5 years ago
Oh yeah.
or
But
10
I
years.
also
So it's,
5 years ago didn't know all the tools to use. So
Yeah.
even though my life can still be chaotic and a mess sometimes, I
Mhm.
know the tools to use now, whereas before I would just be a little puddle on the floor and, you know, or I'd go day drink at lunch or, or, you know, I throw a fit or yell or scream or rage clean. Whereas, you know, like I didn't have all those tools. So while I don't feel like my life is any less messy, in fact, I think in some aspects, and not just necessarily my life, but the people's lives that I love and that I have to deal with, like the chaos continues to happen, but I address it differently now. I become aware of what it is sooner. And even then it's sometimes a struggle, you know, to use those tools. It's like, I have the tool, I know it's right there. Let me find a reason not to use that tool. And then I have to talk to myself about using my tools and continuing to, you know, let things be as they are and how I can handle that and not spiral myself because I'm watching something that I know I could fix, but it's not my place to fix. And that's where I am in part of my journey right now.
Yeah.
Is letting things be.
Yeah.
I can't control other people and what they do.
No.
I think that's a big thing there that you just said. Our tools aren't or it clicked in my head. This is what I'm hearing. The chaos is never going to go away.
No.
Our purpose is not to live this happy, zenful, no problems life. The
Nope.
problems are always going to be there. We're going to have good days where there are less problems, but
Yes.
the goal is to start utilizing all of our tools so that we can manage the day-to-day chaoses and stressors, and things are going to happen. You know, the sky's going to open up and we're going to have a thunderstorm. You know, do we have the umbrella with us though?
Mhm.
Because we're not going to be able to stop the rain
Mhm.
or the wind or the screaming person that hasn't had a nap or the dishes that are created, because if we eat, we're going to create dishes.
Yes.
You know, the dishes are never going to go away. So we're always going to have the problems. How do we deal with them?
Mhm.
Right.
That's all.
And I will
That's
say, even with that, like, there is still time to where you have to step away from situations.
Mhm.
So, because I want to be clear on that, that there's going to be day-to-day things, but you also still have to have that discernment of, when is this no longer good for me? When is this no longer what I need for myself? Or when am I no longer good for this situation?
Mhm.
And that's a harder one, because then it's putting all of it on you. Like, what am I doing to cause more chaos in this situation? And do I need to step away, not for myself, but for this situation?
I love how every time you talk, Michelle, it's like, this is me. This is me.
So,
This is me.
because, and I want to do this also because there are people in abusive relationships, and we won't go back on the religion aspect very much, but if you were raised in a Christian faith, you are taught to stay. Marriage is for life, relationships, you stay, you work on it, you pray through it, blah, 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 blah. So then when you are in those situations, you're praying through the abuse while you're getting hit or mentally or emotionally abused. You're praying for that person to stop instead of getting the hell out. So you have to come to that discernment of, this isn't for me. Because there's a lot of times, I think women, especially men too, it happens to men, are held by this expectation that we're supposed to stay with this person, we're supposed to deal with this, and because it's for better or for worse if you're married. But they don't go into all that for worse stuff and what all that means.
right.
So there's still that discernment. Yes, there's going to be chaos. But in that aspect, choose your chaos, because there's going to be chaos when you leave too.
Mhm.
But you shouldn't stay in an abusive and toxic situation. You need to leave. And I just want to throw that in there because I don't want anybody listening to this later and thinking, if they're in that situation, that, well, I can just use these tools and I'll be okay. Because no,
No.
you need to go.
No. That comes back to awareness. Oh, is it safe? Like, definitely never
Right.
say somewhere it's not safe. And that's safe for our mental health, safe for our physical health, safe for anything. Like, you can cut people off, you can quit a job.
Mhm.
I'm not talking about those kind of chaoses. The chaoses are, the little things, like I have a deadline at work, or I've
Right.
got to get the kids out the door to be to school at 7, by 7 o'clock in the morning, and nobody could sleep last night,
Yep.
those chaoses, or people say things that you're like, hey, am I taking this the wrong way? But if you have family members who are abusive or don't respect your safety and your boundaries, you leave. If
Mhm.
you are in a situation, you leave. That's where we take accountability for our own actions, because I've stayed and stayed and stayed because I didn't, for whatever reasons I stayed. But eventually I said, no, I have to leave, whatever the ramifications might be. This person might say horrible things about me or put things out there that are to destroy me, but I'm going to have to take that because I'm not going to get hit again. I'm not going to be belittled again, or I'm not going to let somebody put my child in a situation because they think, oh, it's okay. That's just Uncle Bob. I don't have an Uncle Bob. I don't, or whatever, but, or, oh, that's okay. That person's kind. No, that person's not kind. We have to, be aware and safe.
Sometimes that person's kind in public.
Yeah.
And
So-
so it looks very good to the external
Excuse me.
world.
Sweatshirt
And,
off.
but
Shirt on underneath.
it's not necessarily, they're not necessarily truly kind, but they put on a good show.
Yeah. And I have no idea where I was going with that, but I'm going to share this anyways, because like I totally, my brain ADD this morning, haven't had enough sleep. So I'm going to be all over the place. So I watched a TikTok yesterday and almost shared it, but I didn't. It says we teach people to turn the switch off and on with our boundaries. Like, oh, if you go out to the mall and you're uncomfortable around these people, you don't have to let them teach you it, you know, you don't have to let them in your space. But if we're at the family reunion and Uncle Bob is, you know, the family pedophile, you know, you still have to give them a hug, you know, you have to, you know, do all of those things. And, or, you know, it's, you don't have to let this stranger be near you. But if we go to the church and the pastor wants to hug you, then by all means, you've got to, you know, be kind and don't embarrass us in front of the pastor. And this isn't going to religion. This is about, you know, people that we suppose are in authority or supposed to be protected. And this guy on this TikTok, I was watching TikToks, said 93%, and I don't know if that number is accurate, but a very high percentage of the people that abuse us or prey on our children are people that we are supposed to love and know, and their family or trusted members of the community. Those are the people that we have to be afraid of. And those are the people that we're telling our kids or have told our kids, because I think we know better, but a lot of people are like, oh, you know, that's family, that's, you know, be nice to that person. And then we're telling the littles that, you know, it's not okay for this person to abuse you, but it's okay for this one too. And that's not our intention, but that's what's happening. That's what they're hearing, because it's not what we're saying, but like you said, you know, it's what they hear. So, yeah, we have to protect ourselves and our others. Yeah, that's all I have on that. I don't know where that was going. I have no points. I just have tangents today.
Going wherever it needed to go. Someone needed to hear it.
Yes.
Someone needed to hear it today. So it might have just been you, but it could have been someone else. Because that's the way the universe works. Shannon looks like she's got something else to say still. No,
No, I'm just reflecting.
Okay.
I'm reflecting. I think with everything that's going on today, I'm going to spend a big part of my day in just like meditation and journaling, processing, because apparently I have a lot of things in my head today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's a good plan.
And I might do it outside.
With your bare feet on the earth.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely be going outside today and sitting. It's a beautiful day outside, and yesterday was kind of overcast, and the day before was kind of overcast and raining. So today I'll be outside.
I love overcast, rainy days.
I do too, but it's hard to go outside, and you know, it's not the same to go put your feet. You know, I go out there whenever it's overcast and put my feet in there, but it's different. I don't want to stay outside for long periods of time when it's just overcast, and it's been cold here too.
Yeah,
it's been cold.
It's been cold here
anymore. Yeah. So today the sun is shining. So even if there's a breeze and it's chilly, and I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like today because I haven't looked, but at least the sun is shining. So when I go sit outside, the sun will be on me and not, I won't be sitting there in overcast cold.
I'm going
earthing and cold. So I still go out there. I just don't appreciate it as much. I guess I should appreciate it more, but
yeah, you can't stay outside long in the rain. I do go out in the rain. I just can't stay out long. It's like a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, very short thing. That's not when, you know, during the week, whenever it's nice and sunny, I'll go sit outside for 30 minutes on my lunch, and that'll be my lunch break. I'll sit outside and sit in my chair and have my feet on the earth, or play something with Michaela and just have to be barefoot. And but it's sunny. But the last 2 days, it's not been that case. So I'll probably do a little bit of that today, in between going through things and packing and doing all that mess.
Taking lots of deep breaths.
You're
getting it done.
Yes, lots of deep breaths. But I really have done a lot. So
Yes.
Because I do tend to look at the, like the overwhelm in front of me. And I have to sometimes turn around and look behind me to see what all I have done, what all I have accomplished, because
Right.
sometimes the task is very daunting and that can be overwhelming. But then when I look at everything I've already done, I'm like, oh, well, I really don't have that much left to do compared to what I had to do to start with. So
Yes. That's in life too.
that's in everything.
Everything that you do, wherever you
Yeah.
are, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just
Yes.
take a look back.
Yep. See what you've done.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I do that in all aspects of my life. Do that with work. I do that everywhere. So guilty of that too. I have to look back to see what all I've done.
I started a practice this year in which, even though I know to do it, I haven't done it regularly. I have done it. But it's like, every year we make our New Year's, I call them New Year's intentions. People say resolutions, New Year's goals, but we make them and we're like, okay, this year, here's what I'm going to work on. And then how many times do we go back and ever look at those? Ever. I mean, they say the gyms are full in January and empty by February. So when I sat down and I kind of went through this process to identify my intentions for this year, I had them all laid out. I broke them down because you don't want to have 12, to just 3 or 4. And my goal was to revisit them at the end of each month and kind of assess, okay, how did I do? Did I do any of these things? Did I make any progress? And I think I did it the first month and then I didn't do it the second month. But anyway, it hasn't been consistent. But I just did it for April because coincidentally, it came up in my meditation. And then when I got up and started moving about my day, there was my reminder. I did put a reminder on my phone so I wouldn't miss it to review intentions, revise, review, revise, reflect, whatever I need to do. So I sat down and looked and I actually rewrote them. So a lot of R's there. I rewrote them out and revised them. But when I started looking, because I had, even though my attention wasn't like I thought it would be, because I was also supposed to read them daily, but I don't post them. No, I haven't done it. Probably would help if I do that. But when I laid it all out, I could see I have made progress. And there was even some things I'd forgotten about, but had done, like in my little task to get there, my action plan to get there. Anyway, the whole point of that is go back and look, like wherever you want to go, decide, and then come up with an action plan, but then keep it in front of you and keep looking back. And you see, kind of goes along with looking to see the progress. How did I do?
Mm-hmm.
Art was one thing, art one time a month. So now I'm doing art with Michaela. And I was
Once
like,
a week.
that was so easy. I love it. And so I'm doing more art where my goal was to do art once a month.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm doing it more than once a month, as long as we can meet on Tuesday. But anyway.
Homeschool. Michaela's homeschool art is with
Yes.
her grandma teacher.
Yeah. And I love it. So I'm
yeah.
getting my art in and sharing that art time with her.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just looking back and seeing the progress that's been made. It's pretty cool where if I never looked back, I wouldn't have pursued the art thing. I wouldn't have pursued these other things that I'm doing. So
yeah,
that's a good reflection.
Looking back is a good reflection. Looking back, to go backwards is not always a good thing.
No, don't go there and say, well, I didn't do this. I didn't do this when I did, because I have a lot over here that I didn't do, but that's not what I focused on. I looked to say, wow, I did more than I thought I did without looking at it daily and rereading it and posting it.
Without saying, I haven't done this and I haven't done that. And oh my gosh, I haven't done this.
Yeah.
And I say the entire back side of the house, which y'all can't see because I got my nice little wall up here, is done. There's nothing in there except for stuff I'm selling and stuff I'm taking to the kids. I only have my bedroom, the kitchen, and the living area, and this little desk work area that I have for work since I sold my desk. It's my little makeshift desk. So I don't look at what I haven't done. I look at what I have done.
Right.
So I think that's a good thing. And I stopped doing New Year's resolutions a few years ago because of that. Because I was like, I would write them and then I never did them. So maybe I need to go back to it. But I think what I do, I would go back and I would have them up somewhere. Like I'm looking at them every day, like on the kitchen cabinet, like put them up on get one of those little chalkboard things and, do something like that, where it's something that is intentionally in front of me every single day.
Yeah, they need to be. They need to be, because otherwise it's out of sight, out of mind, out of mind, out of sight. So,
and I mean, go ahead.
Oh, well, because I agree with you. I think we do New Year's intention, goals, resolutions, whatever you want to call them, but we do it at New Year's. Why not do it today? Why not do it this month? I want to do this. It's really just setting up
an intention for the day or the week or the month.
An intention, yeah. Have that, and then have an action plan. How are you going to get there? That's the part that, often gets missed. I'm going to lose 25 pounds this year and I never do anything to get there, or I'm going to work out more, but I'm tired at night, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But it's an action plan. What's my action? Baby steps to get there.
Yep.
But yeah, posting them is what I know to do, but I've yet to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, a lot of different cultures will do, like it's springtime, we set an intention for that season.
Yes.
So, and in fall, we set attention for the season. And I think Beltane's coming up, and that's another big intention setting time. Me, I set intentions or on my birthday. My birthday is my new year.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that. And the action plan kind of goes along with that, because you can say, for this month or this season, it's like, if you've ever done that at work, you've had a project, you have these steps to get to it, and then you revise it. You meet back and touch
We've been
base
setting
again.
intentions based on the moon cycle too, doing, new moon celebrations and full moon celebrations too. So, and using that cycle to kind of guide us. And when is the best time for us to reflect, and when's the best time to start new things? So we've not been really good about getting together on that here the last couple of moons.
Gandhi and I used to be really good at it, but life's been a little busy these past couple of months.
We even talked about doing like a Zoom, like a live some sessions. We have done via Zoom, but we talked about doing that. And I think I don't think we're in a place right now that we can do that yet.
Not yet.
I think our schedule's a little heavy still.
Oh, and shameless plug. So we're going to use this as commercial time, because Shannon's going to start doing Qigong on Thursdays.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say, bear with me, because I'm going to do it through the fear. I'm not going to expect to be perfect. So I'm setting the intention that my Qigong teachings on Thursdays are going to be for teaching me as well, because I have not taught Qigong in the past. Not on any level. I mean, I've taught a few people, but not in depth. So this is going to help me learn to be a teacher while sharing the information that I know. And that is my intention for that.
Awesome.
And eventually I will be doing yoga nidra. And it'll be after the move out date.
Yes.
when I'm no longer in this space here. But in talking about intentions, I think, we can talk a little bit about we do our Monday night planning sessions. And, because we had a lot of things that we would say, well, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. but then we never really formulate a plan for them. So then we started doing Monday night planning sessions with the intention that that was going to be the day that we would get together and we would work on the things. And sometimes those planning sessions are us just talking. And sometimes those planning sessions are very protective, but the intention is always there so that we're all constantly working towards that goal. And I think that that's worked pretty well for us. So, because now we have our Saturday morning tea talks, which was a plan, but was never put into fruition. And, you know, we're going to start the Qigong, we'll start the Yoga Nidra, you know, and then, you know, we're working on YouTube channel.
Yes.
Working on the
It is,
podcast thing.
yeah. Yep. So getting some things going, and don't forget yoga on Tuesday night at 8:30.
Yep. So, and we have lots in the works. We have a little retreat coming up that we're working on as well. So,
Okay.
lots in the works. So I think on that note, I think we've been about an hour.
Yes.
So
yeah,
we will sign off and we will see you all on Tuesday night for Tuesday yoga. And we'll see you Thursday night at 8:30 for Qigong. And on Saturday, next Saturday, for our tea talk. And I'll be down in Florida. Again.
And I'll be in Tennessee. Oh, wait, Saturday.
Saturday.
I'll be there. I don't know if I'll be there yet.
No,
yes.
yeah, I think you'll be getting here. So you'll be coming this way.
Okay.
I think you're moving. I don't know.
Anyway,
At
any rate,
you'll be somewhere.
I'll be somewhere and I'll be here.
So,
Service
right.
providing, I will be.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
Everyone have a great Saturday.
Have a great
Get
Saturday.
outside. It's a beautiful day.
Go
Be
outside and
present.
earth.
Oh, I have to say one thing. The whole
Okay.
time we've been talking, from the time that we started, there's been little doves like coming and going over here, just over here on this side.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's all.
Bye.
Thank you. Have an intentional
Bye.
day.